We have about an hour for our program today, and so I wanted to say hello. I'm Councilwoman Suli Saro, and want to wish you a very happy Asian and Pacific Islander American Month. So welcome. So normally we usually like to do this at the beginning of the month before a council meeting, but we're due to logistical reason, we did it separately with the presentation a week ago and our celebration today, but special nonetheless. I want to just thank my hosts, my co-host, Council Member Roberto Uranga, Council Member Al Austin, and Council Member Dr. Joni Ricks-Oddie. And so we're going to have performances for you, as well as guest speakers who I will introduce very soon, and want to thank them for joining us. It's a diverse program. And just want to also thank the Asian Pacific Islander Employee Association for their partnership and collaboration at last week's council presentation. So today we have jamés. So it's Filipino cuisine, and there's more than enough for everyone, maybe some to take home if there's extra. So for all of the performers and guest speakers, we have certificates on the table for you to take after you come onto the stage to invite you to, and we want to invite you to stay to the end so we can take a group photo. So while in Long Beach we have the largest Cambodian community here, we also have a very vibrant Asian and Pacific Islander American community. And when we speak about the community, we speak about diversity, and it's from people from India to Indonesia, Singapore to Samoa, and Laos to Guam. So with every community, there's its own history, culture, and food. And I think people are probably most first familiar with culture, Asian and Pacific Islander culture, through food first, and hopefully in other ways as you explore where the food come from. And so with that, I wanted to begin our performance, our program with our first performer, which is Rujin Taiko. So before you come up, I just want to do a quick intro. They're a drumming group, taiko drumming group based in Los Angeles, California, established in 2001 at UC Riverside under the leadership of Jason Osahima, named after Rujin, the dragon god of the sea in Japanese mythology. The group was formed to promote and preserve the traditional Japanese art of taiko drumming while fostering a sense of community and cultural awareness. So their performances are characterized by powerful rhythms, movement, and the use of large drums known as odaiko, including both traditional pieces and original compositions to honor the history of taiko while also exploring contemporary and innovative approaches. Please welcome Rujin Taiko. as they kind of set out, I want to introduce our next performer, which is a local group right up here in North Long Beach. It's the Jordan High School Pacific Islander Club. The Pacific Islander Club is a student organization at Jordan High School who aims to celebrate and promote diversity. They provide a supportive community for students of Pacific Islander heritage and foster a sense of belonging and cultural pride. The club engages in various educational programs, community service projects, cultural performances, and Pacific Islander history and tradition to raise cultural awareness and appreciation with the school and the Long Beach community. Please welcome the Jordan High School Pacific Islander Club. Thank you, Jordan High School Pacific Islander Club. Please give them another round of applause. So our last performance before we have our speakers is the Kuturan Chamorro performers who actually practice and meet here in... Oh, I'm sorry. This is still going on. I'm so sorry. Okay, thank you. Okay, now thank you, Jordan High School Pacific Islander Club. Yes, please keep up the great work and the cultural preservation that you do. So next, I want to bring up our last performer, which is the Kuturan Chamorro performers. And they are an award-winning Chamorro dance ensemble based here in Long Beach, and they actually meet and practice at Homeland Cultural Center, which is in Council District 6. And they are dedicated to promoting and preserving the Chamorro culture through dance, music, and language. The Kuturan Chamorro performers' dedication to cultural preservation and dedication has made them representative of the indigenous Pacific Islanders of the Northern Marianas Island, including Guam, Saipan, Tinian, and Rota. Please help me welcome Kuturan Chamorro dance performers.
Yes. Long Beach, are you guys having a good time? Make some noise. We are the Kuturan Chamorro Foundation, and we are based right here in the island of Long Beach, California. When you go to Hawaii, the greeting is aloha. But when you go to Guam and the Marianas, it's half a day. It's not a whole day, it's just a half a day. Again, I hope you guys enjoy this. Please put your hands together. Come on in, Moana. They're way down there. Please put your hands together for the Kuturan Chamorro Foundation.
Definitely making Homeland Cultural Center feel like home. So thank you so much. If you want to see more performances, we will be over at the Aquarium of the Pacific on Sunday morning. So we hope to see you guys out there. One more time, on behalf of KCF, we'd like to say, Happy! Another round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the band.
Give it up for Kotaran Chamorro performers again. Thank you, Joey. I've known Joey for almost, I want to say, over 15 years. The mayor of Long Beach couldn't be here, Rex Richardson, tonight, but he wanted to send his best wishes for a happy API Heritage Month. But I want to introduce my colleague who's here with us today, which is Councilwoman Dr. Joni Ricks-Oddie. Please come up and share a few words with us, Councilwoman.
And the mayor is my constituent, so I'll represent the 9th District as well. Greetings, everyone. Again, I'm the 9th District Council member, Dr. Joni Ricks-Oddie, and I'm honored to be here with you to celebrate Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, a time dedicated to recognizing the honor and honoring the rich cultural heritage and contributions of our Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander communities. I'd like to take a second to really recognize our fantastic, amazing performers. If my daughter was here, she'd probably have been up here dancing with them. We were treated to the fantastic performances by the Jordan High School's Pacific Islander Club. So whoop whoop for 9th District, North Long Beach, Jordan High School. I also want to recognize the fantastic performances by Katuran Chamuru Foundation and the Ryujin Taiko drummers, who were fantastic. So thank you so much for sharing your gifts with us. Additionally, I know that we're going to be hearing from some additional speakers, Michael Vitug, Dr. Sophia Sang, and Grace Yoon. So thank you so much for sharing your time with us. And again, I just want to thank you all for being here. This year's theme is Bridging History, Shaping Our Future, which beautifully honors the legacy of ancestors and calls upon us to explore the interconnected histories, triumphs, and challenges that have shaped our community. It is a powerful reminder of the importance of intergenerational connections. By understanding and honoring our past, we can build a more inclusive and resilient future together. Long Beach has a rich history of NHPI contributions, from the early Japanese and Filipino immigrants who settled here in the early 20th century to the significant Cambodian community that established itself here in the late 70s and 80s. Our city has been shaped by the vibrant, diverse culture of communities. The establishment of Cambodia Town in Long Beach is a testament to the enduring spirit and cultural richness of the Cambodian community. It also serves as the hub of cultural preservation and economic activity. Today we celebrate the creative resilience and dedication of our NHPI individuals who have significant impacts on our community. And despite the challenges, they have shown remarkable resilience and have contributed greatly to our cultural and economic fabric of our community. In thinking about this year's theme, I came across a really fantastic narrative podcast on NPR called Inheriting that I've been listening to. I don't know if any of you all have heard it as well. It is a series of short stories attempting to bridge the gap between the personal and historical by shining a light on the stories of 7 Asian American Pacific Islander families from California. It is produced by Emily Kwong, host of the NPR podcast Shortwave. Emily facilitates conversations between family members about everything from the 1992 Los Angeles uprising to the Imperial Japanese occupation of Guam to what it is like to grow up under the brutal thumb of the Khmer Rouge in Cambodia. The impetus behind the podcast was the hope that by sharing deeply personal, long-held emotional truths, participating families are able to better connect and understand each other, as well as better process their place in human history. And I honestly think that is something that we should all do on a regular basis. As we celebrate NHPI Heritage Month, I encourage all of us to engage in meaningful dialogue and actions that promote understanding and equity. Let us recommit ourselves to fostering community where diversity is celebrated and everyone has an opportunity to thrive. Thank you for joining us this afternoon and joining us in this celebration. Let's carry the spirit of bridging histories, shaping our future throughout this month and beyond. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilwoman Ricks-Oddie. Well said. I think particularly in lifting up how much we have stories, histories to share and to continue on. And today, that's what today is about. I think that celebrating Asian and Pacific Islander American Heritage Month is relatively new in the city, and I hope to keep it going as we continue the celebration annually. So with that said, I want to introduce our first speaker Michael Vitag. And he is a prominent figure in public relations and strategic partnerships, currently serving as the executive director at Intertrend Communication, working specifically on a project called Make Noise Today. He immigrated from the Philippines as a child and earned a degree in communication from Cal State Fullerton, and is an active board member of the Downtown Long Beach Alliance, and which is dedicated to revitalizing and improving the downtown area and community. So please help me welcome Michael Vitag to the podium.
Thank you. And I normally, because I'm from advertising, I have slides or visuals, so I'm going rogue today. So I'm going to probably ask a couple of questions and have you help me answer these to make it a little more interesting for my 4.5 minutes. Hopefully I don't bore you guys. But like Councilwoman Saro mentioned, I'm from Intertrend Communications. We are an advertising agency that is specific to Asian American clients who are trying to reach Asian Americans here. If you've seen our building, we're off Broadway and Pine. It was when for about 2 months we had a big dragon on top of our building during Lunar New Year. So that's us. We do that every Lunar New Year, so we try to incorporate something from our Asian American heritage. So I'll do some quick numbers for Asian Americans here in the U.S., and hopefully you guys can answer some of my questions. So we make up about 6% of the U.S. population, 43% or 43 countries. 64% are foreign-born, so almost 70% are foreign-born. But in terms of the U.S., what do you think the largest Asian American population is? Korean? Nope. Chinese? Almost. They're second. Filipino is third. It's actually South Asian, so that's Pakistani, Asian Indian, so South Asians, Chinese, Filipino, then Vietnamese. And in terms of the overall U.S., the largest pockets are, well, you all probably know this already, but New York, LA, San Francisco, San Jose, Washington, D.C. That's actually, I was surprised, and then Chicago. But when it comes to Long Beach, what do you think is I think Councilwoman Saro already mentioned what's the largest Asian American population here. It's Cambodian. But what's next? Anyone? Any guess? Filipino. God, you guys are good. Jeez, you guys have done this before. And then what comes after Filipino? Vietnamese. Yeah. Vietnamese, Korean, then Chinese. Actually, I'm surprised that Chinese is a little less than 10%, but so it's Cambodian, Filipino, Vietnamese, Korean, and Chinese are the largest segments in the city of Long Beach. And this next section, I'm going to be talking to or preaching to the choir because I think you all know this, but I was going to talk about how to connect as an advertiser, how we connect with our Asian American community. Obviously, values and beliefs are vital. Family first, respect, hard work, and hospitality. And all of you probably already know with hospitality, we have food. Every time there's an Asian gathering, there's going to be food. In fact, have you eaten yet is a phrase that is like a hello. So that's something that we'll always have together. And because there are 43 countries that make up Asian Americans here in our country, we're not we're not a monolith. There are a lot of cultures, even though there are some, connective tissues. We are separate. We're not a one-size-fits-all. And as a marketer, advertiser, it's important to us to make sure we are talking to you, Councilwoman Saro, or someone who is Chinese or Korean, and you're really talking to them not just in their language, but in their culture, meaning, little things, that you do. You're able to understand the charm that you have in your rear view mirror, or the Kleenex box that every Filipino car has in their back seat or in the back of their car. So I think a lot of those nuances are important to be able to understand who you're talking to. And then in terms of historical impact, it's already, I think we see this here, and you touched upon this a little bit. World War II, Asian Americans fought side by side, or actually Asian countries fought side by side. In the civil rights movement, we have Grace Lee Boggs, Yuri Kochiyama, even a Filipino gentleman named Larry Itliong, who was a vital part of the farmers' civil rights movement, along with Cesar Chavez. And in terms of economic and technological contributions, in YouTube, and we have entrepreneurships like the founder of Yahoo, as well as previously Zappos. And then with culture and social impact, K-pop, Asian culture is actually having a moment right now. Especially with the culinary space. It's really nice to see Chinese cuisine get more and more respected these days with a lot of the chefs and a lot of the big name chefs, because in the past it's always been it's cheap food, it's inexpensive, so people felt that it wasn't in that standard. But I'm really glad to see that we're really passing that, and the Asian cuisine has really stepped up, and you'll see it in everywhere. I think in Trader Joe's has ube flavored cookies or pretzels. So. And in terms of here in Long Beach, we have obviously the Cambodia Town Culture, the film festival, as well as the Cambodian festival that we just celebrated, and then arts and cuisine. I think just talking about food again. Long Beach has really began to have a really good food scene. If you haven't noticed yet, but it's really getting up there in terms of the Long Beach food scene, even with various influencers out there. And then with the economic impact, small businesses. AAPI, Korean, Vietnamese, Cambodian, the small businesses really thrive and help the community. And then healthcare contributions. You nurses, they're the majority are going to be Filipino and Asian American, and so we're getting that. They're seen at Memorial Care, St. Mary's, Molina Healthcare, and a few other Long Beach communities as well. And then as well as social impact and community programs like the Khmer Girls in Action, as well as Pacific Island Ethnic Art Museum. And then before I end, I do want to make a quick plug, and that's my agency's Asian American social justice initiative called Make Noise Today. And it is the program dedicated to empowering Asian American youth by amplifying their voices and providing a platform for their stories to be heard. So we actually have, this is going to be the third year of our student exhibition. So we hold a contest, and from there we take select students' work, and then we'll create an exhibition for them. This is our third year, and it's going to be launching on June 13th. That's a Thursday, and you'll be able to see it across the street at the Billie Jean King Library. Thank you, Kathy, for being such a great partner. But yes, so it's going to be there from the 13th through all the way throughout summer to August 31st. So hopefully even longer, but we could talk about that later. So I hope we see you there, and that's it. I think I went a little over, but hopefully we're good.
Thanks, Michael. That was a great run through of how Asian Am and Pacific Islander Americans are in pop culture. And you particularly, you made it as a mainstream Asian and Pacific Islander when your food is in the frozen section of Trader Joe's. I'm waiting for bahak flavor ice cream. If you know what bahak is, fermented fish. Anyway, so thank you, Michael, and then next speaker is, I want to introduce Dr. Sophia Sang. She's assistant professor in the Department of Asian and American Studies at Cal State Long Beach. If you didn't know, we do have an Asian American Studies department, and wanted to welcome her to make sure she share a little bit about our partnership as far as the work that's done between the department, but also with our community. So she specializes in transnational migration, diasporatic studies, critical refugee study, with a concentration on Cambodian American refugees. Her work explores identity, agency, and access to rights amongst displaced communities. She holds a bachelor's in linguistic and Italian language from UC Santa Cruz. Go Banana Slugs, I'm an alumni. Yes, go Banana Sluggers. And a master's degree in Asian Am Studies from Cal State Long Beach, and a doctorate in anthropology. And also a master's in Southeast Asian Studies from UC Riverside. Amazing, Dr. Sang. Please welcome her up.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Dr. Soto, for having me here. And I am also one of the 70% that Mike was talking about, foreign-born. I was actually born in Cambodia toward the end of the genocide. And my family came here under the 1980 Refugee Act. We had resettled initially, and we were sponsored by a family in Oakland, but I grew up in the Bay Area, and then I moved down here for high school. And I am the first person in my family to go to college, to earn a BA, MA. I won a Fulbright to Italy, and that's why my project randomly looks at Cambodian refugees in Italy. And so for me, I'm excited. Thank you for having me here to talk about education and being able to work in the Department of Asian American Studies. And we are one of the first in 1972 to combine both, right? To have a global focus and to look at Asian American studies, right? Because it did grow out of the 1960s, grew out of the anti-war protests in Vietnam, the civil rights movement, right? The ending of the 1965, the Civil Rights Act that ended the Chinese Exclusion Act, right? So all these large communities. And so the reason I go into this history is also to talk about the future. I graduated during the pandemic, and so when I started, teaching students who were telling me that they had their high school prom, well, they didn't have it, right? So they kind of developmentally, one of the things that our department has been doing is we won a $1.5 million grant called Project Resilience, and this grant is to put our students in the community. And so they have paid internships where they work for things like Cambodia Town, the May Center, working with senior citizens who survived the genocide, working with Khmer Girls in Action, the United Cambodian Community, PIAM, Filipino Migrant Center, right? These are ways for students to be involved in the local communities and to work together to kind of collaborate on how we want to envision our future. Because we can't ever go back to how things were, right? Or we don't want to. We want to keep moving forward. And so I totally went off of my speech. I didn't do this, but so by sharing the diverse stories, including mine and experiences of Asian Americans, I'd like to conclude with, we do have a long way toward challenging stereotypes, combating prejudice and racism, and building a more inclusive society. So how I want to end with is, let's continue to work together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sang, and lifting up the work that you do, as well as the other professors at the Asian and Asian Am department does. So our last speaker, who I want to bring up here, she's been an employee with the City of Long Beach for 16 years. and she serves as the deputy city manager. You might guess who it is. It's Grace Yoon. Yes. So she has a master's in public administration from New York University and a bachelor's in human development and psychological services from Northwestern University. So as deputy city manager, her responsibility includes overseeing the Office of Governmental Affairs and the implementation of the strategic visioning plan. So she's going to lead the effort in economic development, public safety, and homelessness. Just, really easy stuff, right? So please give it up for Grace Yoon.
So rice and maggots. These are two things you don't normally associate or want to associate with each other. But that was what was before me, spread out on a large blanket on the pavement of my grandparents' apartment parking lot. I was a middle schooler visiting relatives in Korea with my parents over the summer. Just 30 minutes earlier, my parents had opened my grandmother's container for uncooked rice and found it crawling with maggots and other bugs. Shocked, they were going to throw it out until my grandmother jumped in. "No way," she had said. And my normally docile and acquiescent grandmother was visibly agitated at the thought of wasting so much rice. She said that if we spread the rice out on a blanket in the direct sunlight, the heat would force all the maggots to crawl away into the shade and the rice would be salvageable. She was insistent. And so my parents shooed me away to help my nearly blind grandmother outside. And while the sight of these slithering worms made my stomach curl, I went without a word, seeing the pained looks on my parents' faces as they huddled and whispered quietly to each other. My grandparents grew up very poor in Korea. They struggled to provide for their 4 sons, including my dad, who was the oldest, and their adopted daughter, who they had found abandoned on the streets. And after I became a mom, I often wondered how painful it must have been for my grandmother during the time that she had to put my dad and youngest uncle in an orphanage for a few years because there just was not enough resources. She lived a hard life, and she passed away in 2012. And to the world, her life is not one of much significance. She did not make any kind of history. She's not written about in any articles or books. She didn't lead an organization. Her life could be seen as one that was lacking so many things. But to me, she's someone who had so much, because whatever little she did have, she gave with such intensity, generosity, passion, and joy. When I remember my grandmother, I don't think of a lack of resources. I think of the dragonflies she caught for me and tied string around so I could have my own dragonfly kite to play with. I remember the delicious milk and sugar mixed popsicles she would make that hit the spot on a hot summer afternoon. I remember my dad sharing how when he was a kid, on his birthday, my grandmother would tell him, "Son, I don't have any presents I am able to give you, but I will give you the greatest thing I can." And as a woman of faith, she would get on her knees and pray out loud literally all night long. And my dad would fall asleep to his mother's voice, crying out in prayer for him in the next room. So my grandmother didn't have much, but she fully gave of what she did have, and that has made a lasting and meaningful impact on my family. And now in my professional career and as a working mom, I could so easily focus on what is lacking, such as the lack of time and ability to accomplish things with so many conflicting demands. And as an Asian American with immigrant parents, I could get caught up in the temptation and pressure to not stick out as different, to not rock the boat, to blend in, to be accepted, to avoid anything that would make me an outsider that doesn't fit in. I could get stuck in the uncertainty of how to have a voice or whether my voice is even wanted. and just rush back to the safety of conformity and camouflage. I could be fearful about stepping into new opportunities for growth because I haven't seen many others that look like me in those places. These are all things that I have experienced in my professional career. It's easy to see things from a place of poverty or fear, from a vantage point of what is missing. But I have to make a conscious choice to be like my grandmother, to give fully of what I have, to lead in a way that is true to my strengths, my experiences, and heritage. And I am so grateful for the city of Long Beach for being a place where I have been supported in my professional growth. I have been so fortunate here to have mentors who had championed me and believed in me even when I doubted my own place and abilities. They have encouraged me to have my own voice and to share it. They have invited me to have a seat at the table and to be seen and not invisible. And today, as a deputy city manager, I am proud to be part of an organization that strives to grow and embrace a diversity of voices and backgrounds, making us stronger and helping us better serve our community. I am truly privileged to carry on the spirit of courage and generosity of my grandmother through their work and to honor the love and tremendous sacrifices of my immigrant parents. So today, I want to encourage you not to focus on what is lacking, but to give fully with what you have. I want to encourage you to be inspired, to take all that has shaped you, your stories, your histories, your heritage, and to have a voice at the table because we will be better for it. And I want to encourage you to be more like my grandmother. Thank you.
That was so beautiful, Grace. It's so moving that I could connect with your grandmother and you. Thank you for sharing it. And I really think you should be one of those people who share their story on the podcast, or maybe we could start a Long Beach one, because I thought that was amazing and inspiring. So thank you for sharing that. We're about at the conclusion of our programming. I want to see if Council Member Austin is here to say a few words, because we like to hear from him. But you know what? I'm going to go back to just doing a quick overview about how important it is that, thank you to the speakers and the performers. This is really just a taste of Long Beach and of our broader Asian and Pacific Islander American community. And I hope that we can continue to do this each year as we highlight the different community that we have. Is he almost here? Okay. So we do have some food left over, or no? Oh, okay. We do. So maybe if you want, you could stop by and get some more. And he's on his way right now. So yes. What else can I say? Just really appreciate you all being here after work and taking the time to join us. And please welcome Councilmember Al Austin from the 8th District.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? I just want to be brief today. I want to extend my deep appreciation to Councilmember Saro and her team for organizing today's wonderful celebration. Happy to sponsor with other city council members here. During my 12 years on the council, I've had the opportunity to witness the incredible power of these cultural events like this, celebrate our community and bring together and make us all stronger, feel more inclusive. And if you know Long Beach, you look in any direction, you're going to see somebody from a different background. And you're going to appreciate them, be they your neighbors, in a restaurant, in a retail establishment. Long Beach is truly a melting pot, and I'm proud to live here and serve this city. I'm also incredibly proud to have led the efforts to do this. 10 years ago, we Long Beach proclaimed AAPI month as here in the city of Long Beach. So 10 years ago, my staff kind of prompted me and said, we're not doing this and doing enough to represent or recognize the AAPI community, and we said, let's do it. And so myself, and I believe at the time it was Councilmember Suja Lowenthal, and from there, years after that, myself and then Councilmember, now Senator Lena Gonzalez took the lead until now, when we have our first Cambodian American on the city council, and she has the honor, and it's her job to carry out AAPI month. So let's give her another big round of applause. I think celebrations like this are really a testament to the vibrancy and diversity of our city, and I want to thank all the performers and speakers who generously shared their time and talents with us today, folks in the community, city employees who all have gathered today to come out and celebrate. You've made this event, and you make this city a special city. Thank you very much again for indulging me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilmember Al Austin. So again, just really grateful to be able to celebrate with you all, and wanted to close on that we're going to just do a quick group photo with our guest speakers, performers, if they're still here. I think they kind of left already, but and then the co-host for a group picture. So thank you again, everyone. Happy Asian and Pacific Islander Heritage Month.